Welcome to Beyond the Funeral Service, special edition Halloween. My name is Bill Rosado, and my co host is my lovely wife, Vonda.
We wanted to do something special for Halloween, and we came across some unique and interesting fun facts about the history of Halloween and trick or treating. So, we wanted to share that with you, and maybe you can bring that to your families, go over this with your kids, and share some insight on Halloween and the history and kick off the Halloween festivities.
So let's go ahead and get it kicked off.
So everyone knows what trick-or-treating is today, how we know it today. Trick-or-treat is a Halloween tradition where children ask for candy while saying trick or treat.
Oh, and super excited. There's a lot of stuff here I really don't know, so I'm looking
Yes.
forward to seeing.
And trick-or-treating's been around for a long time. It originated in the 1920s and 30s and became very popular in the 50s. But there is a lot of history that is interesting.
So, what is trick or treat? It's a tradition that takes place on Halloween night where children dress up and ask each other for candy. They knock on the door and they say trick or treat. But really, we all know that means give us a treat or we're going to make a joke or do a trick. It's kind of evolved into a fun activity where the host gives candy to children to avoid those rare tricks and pranks.
Like TPing or ding dong ditching, which you probably did growing up. But a little bit deeper in the history of it are soul traditions, which I didn't know anything about. The tradition of souling in the Middle Ages was a custom where children and poor people walked from house to house asking for cakes called soul cakes as a means to pray for the souls of the deceased family. On certain nights in autumn, especially before All Saints' Day, this tradition is observed. In return for the cake, they promise to pray for the soul of the deceased with the aim of helping the soul achieve peace.
In the 19th century, we saw European immigrants, particularly Ireland and Scotland, bring Halloween traditions to America. The customs of celebrating Halloween, which include wearing costumes and visiting homes to eat, were brought with them. It's become increasingly popular among children in America, and as time has gone by, celebrations and activities in America have become more modern, such as trick or treating.
Modern and very commercialized. So, the origins of Halloween. Halloween is based on an ancient tradition that commemorates the change of seasons from summer to winter. At that time, people believed that on the night of the change of seasons, the boundaries between the world of life and the world of spirits became blurred so that spirits could return to earth. They used scary costumes and big fires to fight evil spirits. The modern Halloween celebration we know today is a result of this tradition, giving rise to costumes, lanterns, and activities.
The importance of costumes, right? Costumes and trick or treating have an important role because they add the fun and creativity to children's celebrations. Children can imagine and act out their favorite characters. They can be scary or they can be funny or they can be both scary and funny. The custom of wearing a costume stems from the ancient belief that pretending to be evil spirit or creature can protect a person from those evil spirits.
And then, do you know where our jack-o'-lanterns come from that we see today and carve today? To cover the roads, lanterns used to be made from vegetables such as radishes, which eventually developed into the popular pumpkin lanterns that are still used today. Modern Halloween traditions that are festive and fun around the world have evolved due to the evolution of costumes and house-to-house activities over the centuries.
Radishes, jack-a-radish, jack-radish. The social meaning. Trick-or-treating has social significance because it allows neighbors and communities to interact with each other in a fun and positive way. This tradition encourages children to walk around the neighborhood, knock on doors, and interact with neighbors, a true symbol of belonging and community, including we have parades and we have trunk or treats, a lot of great Halloween social activities now.
To bring the community together. Yes, it's great. So, in good fun, let's remember that trick or treating is a tradition that developed from various ancient customs influenced by beliefs and cultures in Europe, which were then adapted to America by immigrants. This tradition has evolved from ancient rituals honoring spirits to medieval begging for food to a fun and joyful celebration for children. Trick-or-treating is not only an important aspect of Halloween celebrations, but it's a symbol of unity and social joy for various communities around the world, just like ours.
Yeah, so that was a lot of stuff that I didn't really know. Do you learn anything when you were putting this together?
Yes, so I did not know about soul cakes, which I thought was very interesting, especially in our line of work. And then I had forgotten about the true meaning of the scary costumes and how they're actually people used to dress in the scary costumes to ward off evil spirits.
Yeah, so some really interesting stuff that it'd be great for people to share as far as knowledge to be able to gain. But I think, if I'm not wrong, there's a little story about you in a funeral home and Halloween.
Yes, so I think that's probably where my original infatuation with the funeral industry came into effect long before we ever realized, meaning myself or my family ever realized. When I was in about second grade, maybe even a little bit younger, which would have probably been the late 70s or early 80s, when it's still not really looked upon for funeral homes to partake in some of these activities. So in the 70s and 80s, I'm sure it really, really was frowned upon. But I can remember we were going trick-or-treating. We lived in Arkansas at the time, and our parents stood on the sidewalk and told us we had to go up to this funeral home if we wanted to get the candy. And of course, they had the big full-size candy bars, so we had to go. But there were great big stairs to the funeral home, much like our stairs we have here. And it was terrifying to walk down the sidewalk and walk up the big steps. He had the big front door open. He looked like a true undertaker. And we had to go in the parlor section of the funeral home. And he had a big cauldron, and that has just always stuck with me, and I loved it. And I hope that we can pass on that same feeling to our trick-or-treaters that come and visit us at the funeral home.
What does a true undertaker look like? I mean,
not me.
So you're saying like the true undertaker is kind of like scary,
like Lurch.
Lurch. Well, you never became Lurch. I'm just gonna
no, but that is how, if you
yeah.
look up undertaker in the dictionary, it probably has a picture of Lurch.
Well, you're far from Lurch, I'm just gonna say. So that was an incredible story, right? And this is just some great information. This was really back to the 20s and 30s, right? Is when trick-or-treating began, and here we are, 2025, right? And how it's evolved. So we appreciate you spending some time with us. We hope you enjoyed this special episode of Halloween, and look forward to you joining future episodes. Is there anything you'd like to say to everybody before we part?
No, just that the entire staff at Johnson Hughes and Maxton Rosado Funeral Home, we wish you all a safe and happy Halloween. And we invite you to visit our Facebook page so you can find out any upcoming events we have, so you don't miss out on coming up our stairs to do a little trick-or-treating.
Thank you for joining us on Beyond the Funeral Service, Compassionate Conversations. We genuinely hope today's discussion offered you clarity, comfort, or a moment for reflection.
At Maxton Rosado and Johnson Hughes Funeral Homes, we're truly honored to serve our communities with transparent pricing and heartfelt care. Whether it's guiding you through pre-arrangements or providing support in a time of immediate need, we are here.
If anything we discussed sparked a question, or if you'd like to learn more about our services at any of our 3 locations, please visit us online at maxtonrosado.com or johnsonhughes.com. You can also connect with us on Facebook. We're always ready to help.
Don't miss our next episode. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Until then, take care, and we look forward to connecting with you again soon.